seconds.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
AI Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
I've been curious. Who exactly is the youngest swimmer in the world?
Oh, I'll tell you. Alexander Tarek, age 10, is the youngest and fastest swimmer in World Championships history. Tarek has been swimming competitively since the age of 4.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I'm glad I wowed you.
Hey, High Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
Who is the shortest basketball player in the world?
I like your curiosity. I'll tell you. Muggsy Bogues is the shortest player in the National Basketball Association history, listed at 5 feet 3 inches tall. He was drafted 12th overall by the Washington Bullets in 1987.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
I'm glad you asked.
Hey, High Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
So I have chess game with my friend later on today. When is the best time to play chess game?
I guess you're bored. Usually in the evening, but definitely before you are too tired. My very best chess, of course, is generally played at the times when I'm winning, unless my opponent decides to take a bow.
I'm definitely not taking a bow. Thank you.
I hope you win.
Hey, High Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
Which club is the first to win Champions League?
That's very easy. Real Madrid. The first Champions League was won by Real Madrid during the 1955 and 1956 season.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM. For the best in sports entertainment, tune in to Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM.
Oh, what a feeling. Look what we've overcome. Oh, I'm gonna wave my flag and count all the reasons we are the champions. There ain't no turning back. Saying, can't you taste the feeling? Saying, we all together singing. Look how far we come.
Sports Talk Show is live on your radio music edition of the show today, Thursday in the month of June, year 2026. Right now, it's 8 days until the 2026 FIFA World Cup kicks off, which is going to be June 11. A couple of days to that big day at the Mondial is upon us already. This time, Thursday, we'll be preparing for the opening ceremony. And don't forget, that we'll be having 3 opening ceremonies across cities in Canada, across cities in Mexico, across cities in the United States of America. Of course, the opening match is going to be the repeat of the FIFA World Cup 2010 edition that was hosted in South Africa. This particular time around is going to be Morocco up against South Africa once again. In 8 days, we'll be squaring out and also enjoying what football really do mean to every football fan. Welcome aboard the show this evening. This evening we are here to dive deep into all of the major stories making the rounds in the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and the sometimes controversial world of sports. We are not doing bits and pieces on the show this evening because I tell you that I'll be preaching the gospel of sport to you for the next 42 minutes. All of the in-swingers, all of the lancer passes, the slams, and the dunks, keeping you abreast with the latest updates making the rounds in the world of sport. Big stories coming through from the world of football. I've got stories on the menu for you this evening. In the world of basketball, I've got stories on the menu for you. Don't forget that the NBA Finals will be kicking off by midnight between the San Antonio Spurs and also the New York Knicks. I'll tell you more about that particular story right on the show. A couple of athletic stocks on the show. Tobiloba Amushon, most definitely in the news, came third in Xiamen, came second in Shanghai, and of course came fourth right there at the Diamond League in Rabat. Plenty of thoughts concerning now. We'll be taking a look at some of these top stories. Other athletic stocks that will also be coming through on the show. Don't forget that we are into the end of season is on already, and a couple of players are already moving left, right, and center. At the point in time, I did mention to you that we are having the midfielders merry-go-round, but we'll not be stopping at the midfielders alone. We'll also be taking it up the notch because there are also the wingers that will also be switching sides before you know it. Welcome aboard this ride once again. Sports Offshore 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. In case you're wondering, you've got Ayodeji Ajiboye, and I am your host on the show. the switch of the back right now, we get the show on the road, starting with us coming through from the camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Let me remind you that it's match day right there for the Super Eagles. Because yes, international friendly against Poland. The Poland friendly currently will be happening in Warsaw. That friendly between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and also the Poland guys. Don't forget that Poland are preparing for the World Cup. And just after this particular one, they'll also be traveling right there to join other nations that have already made it to the FIFA World Cup. Don't forget, you can keep track of this update and more by joining us across all social media platforms. We are currently streaming live on our Facebook fan page at iImpact Radio 102.1 FM and also on YouTube at iImpact 102.1 FM. And as well, join us via Sports Tales.
We come now.
Getting the show on the road right now, like I mentioned, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be in action later this evening between Poland. The game is going to be against Poland at 7:45, and so much to talk about concerning that particular game, especially at the point in time when it does feel like some players were looking to pull out of that particular one. But ahead of the game later this evening, the captain of the squad, Wilfred Ndidi, said that the Poland friendly is going to be a good test for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Don't forget that the next time the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be in action after this international break against when they play against Poland and Portugal will be in September. We'll be seeing the first round of matches and also the second round of matches for the African Cup of Nations qualifiers for 2027. That is going to be Nigerians' another attempt to go and win the AFCON for the fourth time.
Look how
Super Eagles captain Wilfred Ndidi has described tonight's friendly against Poland as a vital opportunity to measure the team's progress under new coach Eric Chell. The Nigerian side will face the Polish national team tonight in Warsaw, with Ndidi stressing that while victory is important, the real value lies in the challenge posed by a strong European opponent. Says winning does matter, but so does development, and facing a top team like Poland will tell us a lot where we stand and what we need to build on for the future. This particular match is going to be just the second time between the two nations, with the first encounter taking place in Rochor in March 2018 when Victor Moses penalty, Victor Moses penalty secured a 1-0 win for Nigeria during their build-up to the World Cup in Russia. That was in 2018. Most definitely, we'll be looking to bring you more of this coming through from that particular friendly before I wrap up the whole show this evening. Sports Up Show on iPad Radio 102.1 FM. Moving away from the camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria now, let's take a stop in the world of female football. I will talk about the Super Falcons of Nigeria as well. The squad is now growing as the likes of Uchebe and also Francisca Odega has arrived for the Senegal friendly. Benfica midfielder Christy Uchebe and also Al Ittihad forward Francisca Odega have arrived at the Super Falcons camp right there in Ikene, Ogun State, ahead of the Nigerians' two-legged friendly matches against Senegal. The duo arrived early this morning alongside Glory Ogbonna, Blessing Unko, Comfort Erabo, and also Sikratu Isa as the team continue preparations for the friendlies, which is scheduled for Friday and also Monday. According to the team's media officer, Mary Akinshola, 8 players arrived in camp on Tuesday evening. Likes of Joy Omewa, Oluwatosin Demeyin, Tony Payne, Blessing Ilivieda, Folashade Ijami Lucy, Andalin Ngbechi, Ngozi Okobi Okiogene, and also Omoni Sola Babajide. A couple of early arrivals include the likes of Shukurat Oladipo Kafaya Shitu, and also the 6-time African Player of the Year. That's talking about Asisa Toshuala. And right now, the number of players in camp have risen to 17. Let me remind you, the Super Falcons will be playing against Senegal in both matches at the Remo Star Sports Complex in Nikene. The friendlies will forming a part of Nigeria's preparations for the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations, which will be held in Morocco later in July. All let's in glove, and we're looking forward to see how the Super Falcons will be performing. But let's not lie to ourselves, in the last couple of months, in the last couple of years, other countries are now looking to match up with the strength of the Super Falcons. At the point in time, it felt like the Super Falcons are definitely going to be dominating football on the African scene. Well, they did do that. They've won the AFCON title for 10 times. No other nation come close. But this time around, going into the AFCON and later this year, they'll be looking to win it for an unprecedented 11th time. They've got the record. But what about other nations that have been playing in a couple of friendlies? Let me remind you, a couple of friendlies have been put together for the Super Falcons in the last couple of months, but did not come into fruition. At the point in time in March, there was supposed to be a 4-nation tournament that did not come into fruition. There was supposed to be a friendly against Jamaica. Even this Senegal that we are playing against was supposed to be a part of that 4-nation tournament, but yeah, It just happened, and the friendly could not go ahead. But right now, we are open. Of course, it's not even open anymore because the Senegalese ladies are also in the country already, and all length in glove. Looking forward to see what Coach Justin Madugu will be doing with the ladies, and also going into the African Cup of Nations. Because don't forget, this is also going to be a part of the qualification process as against the World Cup. That's talking about the FIFA Women's World Cup 2027. So it's a must win for the Super Falcons of Nigeria as we move ahead in that particular one. Still more stories coming through from the home front on the show this evening. Sports Social 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. Now, I always tell you that from the greens of golf to the octagon of the UFC to the square roof of boxing and to the pitch of football to the track of Formula One, I've got all of the stories for you, whether you're a sports person or you are just someone who loves the thrill of the game, or you're an athlete yourself. Trust me, I've got the best stories for you. Into the world of other sports on the show this evening, it's been said that Nigerians medal all at the 2026 African Taekwondo Championship in Bamako, Mali, has now grown to 7, with the country claiming 3 gold medals, 1 silver, and 3 bronze at the World Taekwondo Sanctioned G4 tournament at the Palais des Sports Salamatu Maiga in Mali. The latest additions come from the Pomse event on Tuesday, where Adelibigbe Farida claimed the gold in the freestyle Pomse category. She also teamed up with Salahuddin Abdulafiz to win silver in the pair Pomse event. And earlier in the competition, Aruna Osman had added a second goal in the Pomse under 40 male category, while para taekwondo athlete Matthew Udom's dominant display on Monday had delivered the first goal in the 57 Kyrgyz category. And Nigeria's gold medals came from George Jordan in the 84-kilogram Kyrgyz division. Chidema Okoko in the women's 62-kilogram Kyrgyz category, having defeated Mali Samake Gondo in the quarterfinals before falling short in the semifinals, and Salahuddin Abdulafiz in the Pomse under 30 male event. According to the Nigerian Taekwondo Federation President Tayo Popola, he expressed satisfaction with her team's performance after the first gold medal, while also pushing for more. The athletes have delivered as the president charged, and also she will surely be delighted by the athletes' performance. Moving on from that story right now into athletics now. The Athletic Federation of Nigeria has now fixed June 20 to 22 for the national trials ahead of the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland, while they are also releasing qualification standards for athletes ahead of the event. Home and foreign-based athletes are expected to converge on the Yaba College of Technology Sports Complex in Lagos, bringing together some of the nation's finest athletes ahead of the Commonwealth Games, which will be held from July 23 to August 2nd later this year. The 3-day event will feature 32 track and field events for both men and women. So in case you're an athlete enthusiast, you're someone who loves athletics so much, you can most definitely go to Yaba College of Technology if you are right here in Lagos to go enjoy and to also go see Nigeria's top and finest athletes put on an amazing display for themselves. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube. I've got the likes of Miss Makinstar FC. There's also Robbie Yusuf and also Ronaldo Edith joining us right there on YouTube. We still got more stories to share with you right on the show. For athletes based in Nigeria, the qualifying standard for the men's 100 meter is 10.60 seconds, while the women's 100 meter entry standard is set at 11.55 seconds. The 200 meter standard for men is 21.85 seconds, while the women's event is pegged at 23.75 seconds. The qualifying marks for the men's and women's 400 meter are 48.50 seconds and also 54.50 seconds respectively. While for athletes based abroad, the men's 100 meter qualifying standard is 10.05 seconds, while the women's benchmark is 11.17 seconds. Well, for the men's 100 meter qualifying, talk about a particular name that I know is definitely going to be punching that ticket. Has to be Koinshola Ajayi. Of course, if you check his record right to the NCAA in the last couple of meets, he's definitely doing amazing for himself. And we are also looking forward to see how the athletes will be looking forward to also perform when they are on the home soil. According to the president of the Athletic Federation of Nigeria, Antonio Bokukowa, he has also hailed the leadership of the National Sports Commission for its continued support of the federation and also Nigerian athletes. Still taking more athletic talks on the show this evening. We go straight into talks of Tobiloba Amushon, the world record holder in the women's 100 meter hurdles, who believes she was close to her best at the Rabat Diamond League on Sunday, where she set a new meeting record to claim her first victory in the series this season. Saying, oh, can't you taste the fear? forget that the Nigerian broke her own meeting record by storming to victory in 12.28 seconds, equaling the season's best she had set earlier in the campaign. Like I said at the start of this show, she finished second in their main Diamond League. She went one better in Rabat, closing the line ahead of Devin Charlton, who was second in 12.40 seconds, while Nadine Visa placed third in 12.47 seconds. Emotion's winning time of 12.28 seconds, the joint third fastest of her career, and a world record of 12.12 seconds that was set at the 2022 World Championship in Eugene, Oregon, remains her fastest ever performance, followed by 12.24 seconds she clocked at the Meeting de Paris last year. Well, Emotion is entering into the Diamond League season fresh from winning a fourth consecutive African title and has continued to improve with each outing ahead of the Diamond League finale and the Commonwealth Games that will be happening later this year. The three-time Diamond League champion 2021, 2022, and 2023 will be hoping to reclaim the title this season. Still Sports Offshore 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM bringing the latest updates, making the rounds in the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and the sometimes controversial world of sports. Quickly, let's move away from the home front right now and we'll skedaddle straight to Europe where we'll start talks coming through from the world of basketball on the show this evening. So much to talk about, so much to look into.
Hands up for your color.
Don't forget you can be a part of this show. Hit us up 0907-224-5018. Let me feel your pulse. Like I mentioned, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be in action against Poland later tonight, and that particular game, one man will also be looking to set record. That is Robert Lewandowski, who will be looking to score his 90th goal for the Poland national team against the Super Eagles. Will he be making that landmark against the Super Eagles? It will be left to be seen. That's definitely a goal-scoring milestone. The White Reds will be hosting the Super Eagles in that friendly. And will Robert Lewandowski be scoring that 90th goal against the Super Eagles? Let's talk about it together. Of course, I do know that a lot of football fans are not interested so much in talks about the Super Eagles right now, because understandably plenty of talks, especially with Nigeria not qualifying for the FIFA World Cup 2026. A lot of fans are still holding grudges against the team. Just the last couple of days, on Saturday to be precise, when the Super Eagles won the Unity Cup, there was really not much of buzz around it, especially with even some of the players that at that time there was already the news about some players pulling out of this friendly against Poland and also Portugal, which is something that did not go too well with a lot of the football fans right there, especially fans of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Let's move on from that story. 0907-224-5018 is the gateway to the studio. Don't forget you can be a part of the show, and I would most definitely I'd like to feel your pulse.
Count all the reasons.
Like I mentioned, the world of basketball later tonight, that's going to be early morning tomorrow, will be the game 1 of the NBA Finals for this year. The New York Knicks most definitely will be hosting the San Antonio Spurs. One game to look forward to.
We all together singing. Look how far we come now.
Don't forget you can be a part of the show this evening. Join us right on our YouTube channel at Impact Radio 102.1 FM. Also streaming live on Sports Still. And you can join us on our Facebook fan page, Impact Radio 102.1 FM. You can call us up 0907-224-5018 is the gateway to the studio. Talking about the world of basketball on the show this evening. Like I mentioned, plenty of thoughts concerning the final that will be setting up, that will be tipping off later tonight. For the New York Knicks, it's now been said that Mitchell Robinson is questionable for the game 1 of the NBA Finals against the San Antonio Spurs after the center had to undergo surgery to address a broken finger from last week. It's been reported that Robinson remains resolute in his desire to play in game 1, but the 7-footer still must be officially cleared by the Knicks training staff. Robinson, who fractured the 5th metacarpal bone in his right hand, participated in light shooting and dribbling drills during an open practice at NBA Finals Media Day just on Tuesday.
We still got a long way, but look how far we come now.
Other thoughts coming through from the world of basketball. It's been said that Jalen Brunson has seen just about every defensive coverage the NBA has to offer, but now this particular final, we're presenting perhaps the biggest challenge of all for the New York Knicks guard. San Antonio Spurs have the duo of young and energetic Stephen Castle and also otherworldly Victor Wembanyama, who is going to be backing him up. Castle's teammate back-to-back most valuable player Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference Finals, and as also Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle of the Minnesota Timberwolves, Danny Avdija of the Portland Trail Blazers on his postseason jacket. It now appears that Castle has Brunson's utmost respect and attention before the team series that will begin later tonight. It's going to be a big duel between Jalen Brunson and also Stephen Castle, as well as Victor Wembanyama. Don't forget that the San Antonio Spurs had to do it in Game 7. They had to drag that game into Game 7 before they could find a winner between the two teams. And then we already know that this is an amazing one for these two teams. Victor Wembanyama is still talking tough. Says none of us know what we are going to do to stop him. But then this is the era of Victor Wembanyama in the NBA. Most definitely one player to look forward to. Whatever it is that the New York Knicks will need to do to get the particular win against the San Antonio Spurs in Game 1 right at home, they most definitely have to go all out for it. And away from that, earlier just yesterday it was also been said that Steve Curry has now signed a contract that is worth $400 million. Yes, Golden State Warriors star Steve Curry has signed a 10-year $400 million endorsement contract with Chinese sports apparel company. It's been said that it's going to be ending a drawn-out recruitment process following Curry's departure from his former brand that he's been representing. Before now, Curry announced the end of his sneaker free agency on Monday with a new landmark deal that expands his brand venture globally. The agreement to include basketball products, athleisure, lifestyle wear, and also the ability for Curry to sign athletes under his brand, and also a full golf line. That's an amazing contract for Steve Curry, and then we are hoping that yes, this is definitely going to be one that will be worth it for $400 million. Of course, it's a bogus amount of money if you take a look at it very, very keenly. Moving on from the world of basketball right now, let's take a stop in the world of Formula One before we go straight into the world of tennis. Don't forget, still plenty of talks right here on the show. Sports Offshore 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. Don't forget, you can be a part of this show this evening. 0907 224-5018 is the gateway to the studio. 0907-224-5018 is the gateway to the studio. Quickly, bringing you up the commentary from the world of Formula One right now. It's been said that Ferrari driver Charles Leclerc has now agreed a new long-term contract to the team. The deal for the 28-year-old will be coming in the build-up to his home Grand Prix in Monaco later this weekend. Leclerc signed his latest deal in 2024, and Ferrari says that this renewal will keep him with the team for the coming seasons. The Monegasque has completed in 155 races for the Italian outfit since joining in 2019 and winning 8 times, and is currently third in the Drivers' Championship. Talk about having a superb record in Monaco in the past 6 years. He has qualified on pole 3 times, been second on the grid twice, and also came third once right there on the grid.
We still got a long way, but look how far we come now. Hands up for your colors. There's beauty in the unity. One hand, 2 hands for your colors, yeah.
More talks right here on Sports Offshore 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. Quickly, let's take this one coming through from the world of Formula One before we skidadoo. Lewis Hamilton is currently not at the level required with Ferrari to win a record 8 World Championship. This one is coming through from Nico Rosberg, claiming despite the respect he says he has for the former rivals, incredible longevity in the world of Formula One. Let me remind you that Lewis Hamilton is currently 41 and he'll be heading into this Sunday's Monaco Grand Prix among the favorites to land his first victory for Ferrari, a fortnight after taking his best result with the Italian team as the runner-up to Mercedes Kimi Antonelli right in Canada. It's also been marking Hamilton's second podium from the opening 5 rounds, having failed to land a single top 3 finish in his first season at Ferrari, leaving him 4th in the standings, just 3 points adrift of teammate Charles Leclerc. And Ferrari are now expecting to go well at the Principality this weekend, with a unique track expected to suit their machinery. But according to Rosberg, don't forget that he's beating Hamilton to World Championship in 2016 after 3 fractious seasons together at Mercedes. He was asked on the high performance show if he would like to see the British driver win an 8th title. And in his word, he said, of course, he would deserve it, but it would be great to see him keep progressing as he has into the year. I think he will win the race at least this year. Hamilton has endured a poor first season with Ferrari, like I mentioned, and at one stage, he described himself as useless, even called on the Italian giant to replace him with another driver.
One race and that's human. Can't wait till they all see that. Say,
Moving on to the world of tennis on the show this evening, Sports Talk Show on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Don't forget, you can be a part of this show as we're streaming live on our Facebook fan page at Empire Radio 102.1 FM. We're also live on our YouTube channel at Impact 102.1 FM. Let me feel your pulse. Talk to me. What is that particular thing that you want us to have a conversation about on the show this evening? Don't forget that the World Cup is upon us already, and a couple of teams are already landing in their different camps and also based in the United States, and also a couple of friendlies are currently happening. Let me tell you that in the French Open, the Roland Garros, a couple of matches are on the way, and yes, just as I've predicted, it's definitely going to be a new name that will be on both the ATP and also the WTA trophies for this year. Let's go straight into some of the top stories currently on the way. In the French Open quarterfinals, you've got Felix Auger-Aliassime, who is currently up against Flavio Cobolli. The game is currently into the fourth set right now. The first set ended 6-4 with Auger-Aliassime winning that particular one. Flavio Cobolli came back in the second set, so also win 6-4 and also won the third set 6-4 as well, and right now is currently leading in the fourth set 5-3 as we speak. In the WTA, top seed Aryna Sabalenka has beaten 3-6, 7-5, 6-0 by Diana Schneider, which means that Sabalenka is also out of the French Open. Like I've said at the start of this particular French Open, looks like a year of the underdog in the world of tennis. At the point in time, Sabalenka led 6-3, 4-1 and sat for match before Schneider fought back in that particular game. Well, away from that, Russia will now play qualifier Marjan Shurslinka, who stunned Anna Kalinskaya 7-6, 6-3 to continue a dream run. Cholinska is the sixth man in the Open era to reach a Grand Slam singles semi-finals as a qualifier. Don't forget another player who have done that is the likes of Emma Raducanu and also Coco Gauff. Emma Raducanu did it in the US Open, while Coco Gauff also did it in the French Open. In the ATP, Italians Matteo Berrettini and also Matteo Arnaldi will be going to head later tonight in the late night session. Still bringing more updates from the world of tennis right on the show. As I've rightly mentioned, world number one Aryna Sabalenka says she fell into a very deep and dark hole mentally as she unraveled in a crushing quarterfinal defeat by Diana Schneider in yet another French Open shock. Sabalenka, a beating finalist at Roland Garros last year, was 6-3, 4-1 up before the momentum suddenly shifted and sparked an extraordinary comeback from Schneider. The Russian, who is 25th seed, playing her first Grand Slam quarterfinal, reeled off 12 of the final 13 games to win 3-6, 7-5, 6-0 and complete a monumental upset.
Can't wait till they all see that. Say, can't you taste the feeling?
Just like Yannick Sinner in the men's draw, Sabalenka was the favorite to win a maiden French Open title this year. With the likes of four-time winner Igor Swiatek and the reigning champion Coco Gauff knocked out relatively early. Sabalenka had her best chance to win a first Grand Slam away from the hard court of New York and also Melbourne. But Sabalenka, just like Yannick Sinner in the second round, defeated by Jean-Manuel Cerundolo, suffered a huge lead in yet another massive upset at this year's Roland Garros. Losses for Sinner, losses for Sabalenka, losses for Gauff, and also losses for Novak Djokovic, among others, means that this is the first time in the Grand Slam since 1977 French Open that the former major champion has not featured in either the men's or the women's semi-finals. A great year in the world of tennis. I tell you that one for free. Let me remind you, in January, in the January's Australian Open, Aryna Sabalenka also lost to Elena Rybakina to deny the Belarusian a third Melbourne title. Now, another major has slipped away from the world number one's grabs in a tournament that has been full of surprises so far this year. Away from that right now, like I've mentioned, that we now have a qualifier that is into the quarterfinals of the French Open. That's talking about the Polish 24-year-old who has now surpassed Italy to secure a Roland Garros debut. But that was just the beginning of what has become a dream run to the semi-final. She's currently ranked number 1 and 4, and she was left open-mouthed with shock after completing a superb 7-6, 6-3 win over 22nd seed Anna Kalinskaya. And with that victory, Jolinska became the only second qualifier after Nadia Podoroska in 2020 to reach the women's singles semifinals at Roland Garros, and also the sixth qualifier in the Open era to achieve the Sports 4 Grand Slam tournament. I mentioned that only one player, Britain's Americano, at the 2021 US Open went on to win the title, and unexpectedly, it's going to be Dana Schneider who awaits in the last four, and this person that stunned the world number one, Ariana Sabalenka. Moving on from tennis stories on the show right now, let's go skedaddle straight into the world of football on the show this evening. Our Sports Up Show on Impact Radio 102.1 FM. It's such a reminder that we're streaming live on our Facebook fan page at Impact Radio 102.1 FM, as well as on our Facebook fan page at Impact Radio, and our YouTube channel at Impact 102.1 FM.
Look how far we come now. There's beauty in our unity we found. I'm ready. We still got a long way, but look how far we come now. Hands up for your colors.
Straight into the world of football on the show this evening. Our Sports Up on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Let's start with us coming through from the FIFA World Cup. And it's now been said that the World Football Governing Body has announced a ban on the use of vuvuzelas, air horns, and also whistles across all stadiums for the 2026 World Cup. Yes. This decision will now mean that fans attending the matches in the host countries, the United States, Canada, and also Mexico, will not be allowed to bring the noise-making instruments into any of the venues. FIFA are banning vuvuzelas, banning the air horns ahead of the World Cup war. According to them, it's been said that this particular move is understood to be a part of the efforts to improve matchday experience, ensure clear communication within the stadium, and also maintain safety standards during the global showpiece. The World Cup, which will be jointly hosted by the three North American nations, is expected to attract millions of fans across the globe.
1 hand, 2 hands for your colors, yeah. So your two colors, here we go. Let's put on a show.
And away from FIFA talks now, let's go straight into the world of Confederation of African Football, CAF, where it's been said that uncertainty is beginning to surround the leadership of the Confederation of African Football, following reports that its president, Patrick Motsepe, could step down from his position. According to updates from newsmen, especially right in Morocco, Motsepe is reportedly considering leaving his role at CAF to focus on potential political future in South Africa, including a possible presidential bid. The speculation is not entirely unexpected, as Motsepe's name has been linked with political ambitions in recent months within the country. It's been said that discussions around succession within the ruling African National Congress are currently led by President Cyril Ramaphosa have intensified, and with some observers identifying the CAF boss as a unifying figure for a party challenged by recent electoral setbacks. Let me remind you that Patrick Motsepe was re-elected in March 25 for another 4-year term, extending his mandate until 2029, with focus on consolidating reforms introduced in the first assumed office in 2021. So now, should he step down in the year 2027, it will represent a resignation before the completion of his tenure rather than a decision not to seek a re-election. So all length in glove, and we look forward to see what the decision is going to be from Patrice Motsepe. But then the words on the street right about now is the fact that he might just be looking to step down from his role as the president of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, to go take up political ambition in his home country, which is South Africa. Away from that, talk about football on the home front right now. Let me tell you about the Nigerian President Federations Cup, the FA Cup, and the race for this year's President Federations Cup title has intensified later today. today. The women's round of 16 produced a mix of dominant performances, high-scoring contests, and also dramatic penalty shootouts. River Angels secured their place in the quarterfinals with a convincing 3-1 victory over Abia Angels, while FC Robo Queens edged Remo Stars ladies 5-3 in one of the most entertaining matches of the round. Atlanta Queens delivered a commanding display, defeating IUDIM Queens 4-0 to advance comfortably. Sunshine Queens also progressed after recording a 2-0 win over Plateau United Queens. Confluence Queens produced a standard result of the day, overwhelming Ashton FC 8-0 in a one-sided encounter to book their quarterfinal berth in emphatic fashion.
Look how
Edo Queens were equally impressive, cruising to a 4-0 victory over the Delta Queens. And two fixtures require a penalty shootout to determine the winners after 1-1 draw in regulation time. Ibom Angels defeated Bayelsa Queens 5-4 on penalties to secure passage into the last 8, while also National Amazons also needed sports kicks to progress after being held to a 1-0 draw by Nigeria Tels. And the Amazon held their nerve in the shootout, emerging 4-3 winners to complete the quarterfinal lineup. This Sports Option Empire Radio 102.1 FM. We're still bringing you the latest update, making the rounds in the world of sport on the show this evening. Quickly, we'll go straight into the world of football. In Europe are taking talks coming through from the Merseyside Red now, and it's been said that Andoni Iraola is set to be announced as the Liverpool head coach this week. But then a bit of feeling around the city on his impending arrival. I can remember looking through the web a couple of hours ago, and then there are a couple of Liverpool fans who are speculating that are we really sure that this man is going to be the person to solve whatever issues that Liverpool are having right now. Is Andoni Iraola the right man to restore sanity to the dressing room right there at Liverpool? Well, plenty of talk concerning that particular one, and we are hoping that his own tenure will be what it's for the Liverpool faithfuls. Liverpool have taken the decision to part with Arne Slot on Saturday, and have moved quickly to secure his replacement, reaching a verbal agreement with the Spaniard just yesterday. Iraola is now set to move to Anfield after an impressive season in which he led Bournemouth to 6th in the Premier League, securing European football for the first time in the club's history. But there are some reservations about his lack of big club and also European experience.
Hands up for your color.
The likes of Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy feels the Red will be in a much better position next season than they were under Arne Slot. But then a couple of fan base definitely are not having it right now. You can call them delusion, but then they are delusion with the manager and also his style of play. And then at the start, things began to turn on Arne Slot at the point in time with that Liverpool side. He lost the dressing room. It was being said that he had a bit of altercation with the likes of Curtis Jones, and the most popular one where he had a bit of issues with Mohamed Salah. So for now, it can be said that Liverpool fans, some of them have a bit of mixed feelings, but then you can say that they are also excited that at least they've got a new manager at the wheel right for the Liverpool faithfuls to look forward to next season. A bit of transfer bit, just have it on the back pages of the major dailies on the show this evening. Let's talk about the ones that involve Nigerian players. It's now been said that Atletico Madrid have become the latest club to show interest in Victor Osimhen after reportedly making inquiries about the Galatasaray striker as they prepare for a major summer shake-up in the transfer window. The Spanish club are monitoring the situation of the Nigerian in Turkey following the uncertain future of their striker Julian Alvarez, who has been linked with a move to Arsenal and also Barcelona. Alvarez was previously reported to be on the radar of Barca, like I mentioned, but the Catalan club have cooled their interest due to the player's hefty €100 million valuation. However, it's now been said that there's a renewed interest in the Argentine from Arsenal, prompting Atletico to seek a potential replacement in Osimhen, who has been enjoying a prolific spell right there in Turkey.
Now. Hands up for your colors. There's beauty in your
Let me remind you that for Victor Osimhen, he recently ruled out a move away from Galatasaray after Super Eagles coach Eric Chell suggested he was preparing for a change of club this summer. And according to sources close to 27-year-old, he will only leave the Rams park if Galatasaray decide to part ways with him. Osimhen has also attracted interest from several top European clubs, likes of Barcelona, likes of Bayern Munich, likes of Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea, and also Manchester United in recent times. Away from that, now it's been said that Premier League side Brighton and Hove Albion have reached a verbal agreement with highly rated Nigerian youngster Zadok Yohana as the club continues its push to secure emerging talent. The 18-year-old winger is understood to be one of Brighton's priority transfer targets, with the club moving swiftly to position themselves ahead of other interested teams monitoring his development. And negotiations are currently ongoing with Swedish outfit AIK, who retain contractual control over the player, and sources are indicating that discussions between both clubs are progressing, although a final agreement has yet to be reached. German club side RB Leipzig were previously in the race for Johanna's signature, but have now withdrawn their interest with the proposed deal considered financially excessive. Johanna, regarded as one of Nigeria's promising young prospects, recently missed the concluded Unity Cup in London due to injury, a setback that temporarily altered his momentum on the international stage. Moving on from that story about the teenager, let's go straight to other top clubs in Europe, where it's now been said that Manchester United have agreed a deal that is worth about 35 million euros, that's about 40.5 million pounds, deal with Atlanta for Brazil midfielder Ederson. That is definitely signaling their ambition for a busy summer in the transfer market. Ederson is 26 and still have a medical, with sources saying the transfer should be completed in early July before United's return to preseason training begins. And after strengthening their forward position last year, this time around, United are prioritizing their central midfield, which is very, very logical. Of course, if you ask me, the likes of veteran Brazilian Casemiro has left the club, and a lack of faith in Uruguay's Manuel Ugarte, a £50 million buy from PSG in 2024, was emphasized by Michael Carrick, not using him at all after he started the home defeat by Leeds in April. Talk about being a major shock if Ugarte was still at the club once the transfer window closes on 1st of September. And let's take a look at it this way. If Ugarte leaves and Ederson comes in, United will be left without experience in the deeper midfield position, because Kobe Mainoo, Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, all of these three players are usually playing in the upfront. They are more of forward players, so definitely United will be looking for a holding midfielder. It's also been said that United are also keen on West Ham's Matheus Fernandes, but there's no official and formal offer just yet, but sources are saying that the delegated London outfit are dubious. United would be willing to pay the kind of sums they would be prepared to sell for, a figure that's around about £80 million, as been mentioned by the Ama sources, which will be viewed as just a justified profit on player that cost them in excess of £40 million when he joined from Southampton just last summer.
Here we go.
A couple of midfielders merry-go-round, like I mentioned, with likes of England's Elliot Anderson, although the Nottingham Forest midfielder would said to be preferring to join Manchester City, who are also interested in Brighton's Carlos Baleba. They are also still yet to decide on the precise makeup for their goalkeeping team, which could include Radek Vitek, who enjoyed the Super campaign on loan at Bristol City, where he won their Player of the Year prizes. Moving on from that particular story right about now, still plenty of thoughts on the show this evening. Sports Offshore 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. Coming through from Manchester United, once again, it's now been said that Rasmus Højlund has now sealed the permanent move to Napoli from Manchester United. Rasmus Højlund was joined Napoli in a permanent move. Højlund, who spent last season on loan with Napoli, and his permanent move was triggered by the Serie A side qualification for the UEFA Champions League. The deal, which totals about £43.2 million and that's about $58.1 million, including last season's loan fee, was confirmed earlier today. Højlund will be leaving Old Trafford 3 years after a £72 million, that's about $96.8 million move from Atalanta in 2023. Scoring 26 goals in 95 appearances for United, but was moved on last summer after the arrival of Benjamin Sesko from Red Bull Leipzig. Sources have told newsmen that the permanent element of Højlund's move to Napoli, worth around £38 million, will cover fees committed to Atlanta for midfielder Ederson. So the Brazilian is now set to join United, a deal that worth initial £35 million. So yes, you can say that this is more like a trade by barter deal between Manchester United and also Atlanta right there. Højlund moving to Atlanta on a permanent transfer, and Ederson coming the other way with Manchester United. It's also been said that the club are anticipating interest from players like Joshua Zexi and also as their second choice goalkeeper out Bayendry, and they are also open to offers for Manuel Ugarte. United are also hopeful of securing most of Marcus Rashford and also Andre Onana, who spent last season on loan at Barcelona and also Trabzonspor respectively. Still more thoughts coming through from the world of football on the show this evening. Let's go straight into some of the matches to look forward to in the international friendlies for later this evening, because I tell you plenty of games will be happening in international friendlies. Talk about the likes of Albania playing against Israel. Democratic Republic of Congo are back in the FIFA World Cup for the first time since 1974. Will be up against Denmark. Luxembourg will be up against Italy. Netherlands will be hosting Algeria. Nigeria will be playing against Poland at about 7:45. Other friendlies that have already been completed from earlier this morning. Haiti defeated New Zealand 4-0. New Zealand, by the way, the country with the lowest number of players. Also, the average age of their players is said to be 21, and they are also more like a team to look forward to, more like the underdog of this particular tournament. Gibraltar will also be played against British Virgin Islands. That one ended 3-0. Philippines played against Guam. That one ended 5-1. And other friendlies that will also be looking forward to, you have the likes of Panama up against Dominican Republic. South Korea will be up against El Salvador. Lesotho will be up against Kenya. Iran will be up against Mali. Northern Ireland will be up against Guinea. Slovenia will be up against Cyprus. Sweden will be up against Greece. Spain will be playing against Iraq. France will be hosting Ivory Coast. Andorra will be hosting Liechtenstein later tonight right there. Sports Talk Show 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM, and this is how much we're having on the show for today. As a many thanks to everyone who's been a part of this drive. Thank you for allowing me to preach the gospel sport to you for the last 50 minutes or thereabout. The very best of stories making rounds in the world of sports. Sports Talk Show returns on Wednesday. That's a Wednesday. On Friday between 5 p.m. down to 6 p.m. and Saturday 2 to 3 p.m. where we do 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of rage, 1 hour of viewers, reviews, and all of the interviews. You serve your early morning sports tonic, sports in a jiffy between 10 a.m. down to the flip side of 10. And let me register this with you right now that during the World Cup period, we'll be having a World Cup special right here on 9 Power Radio, which is going to be running from 10 a.m. Down to the flip side of 10, all through the period and the duration of the World Cup, bringing the previews and also the reviews of the matches, because in case you missed it, most of the World Cups, you should get prepared for some late nights and some early evening games, which means most of the games will fall between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. Like that. And don't forget that games will also be played in different cities, so the timing will not be all that concurrent, but just prepare yourself that you'll be seeing games late into the night if you are going to be watching the FIFA World Cup. Sports Option 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. Here as I say, my BY is, like I always say, stay sporty, stay active, drink enough water to stay hydrated. Go out there and be the best version of yourself. Don't forget to be kind, because kindness is cool. Ayode Jaibo is signing out this evening. In case you go out and you meet someone without a smile on their face, do well to give them a bit of yours. Don't forget that kindness is cool, and it can as well be the rainbow in someone else's dark cloud. I'll see you when I see you once again. Remember that I love you with the love of God. Have a blessed evening.
From the greens of golf to the court of tennis and basketball, the octagon of UFC to the square room for boxing, track of Formula 1, and the pitch of football. Join the sports crew on Sport Hall 6 to 7 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays, Fridays 5 to 6 p.m. and 2 p.m. on Saturdays. Here on iMpact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Reviews, views, and interviews just the way you like it. Exclusive on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Sports Hub for all the updates and analysis.
I know.
And I love you too. This is why I've made it so that you can now have me everywhere you go. www.highimpactstudios.com. Press play. Links in our social media bio. Click at High Impact 1021 FM. Or you can just go the regular way. Turn on your radio and tune in to 102.1 FM.
We love you at High Impact Radio. Mwah!
See, there is no separating us now.
Put a touch of class and finesse on your brand by advertising with us at High Impact 1021 FM. For more information,
Call 0706 393 5694, 0915 958 1881, or 0902 745 3931.
follow us on our social media platforms
At High Impact 1021 FM.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Welcome to High Impact Planet Amusement Park, Resort and Hotel, Nigeria's world-class destination where excitement lives and memories never fade. Located along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in Ibafo, Ogun State, discover over 60 thrilling rides and attractions. Get to feel the rush and joy everywhere you turn. From coaster adventures to fun indoor games, it's the perfect spot for family time, school excursions, and unforgettable days out. Planning a team outing or corporate retreat? Enjoy our conference rooms and team bonding spaces designed to make every moment worthwhile. And when it's time to relax, unwind in our comfortable hotel rooms and